Okay, well, I can confirm that you assemble this whole thing. Grease the ball bearings, let them fall out, put them in there, and it will just wind on the end of the shaft. So you can wind it on either end of the shaft. At least now that I've machined it. I'm assuming that would be the case originally as well. I realize there's another spacer here. So I've got a spacer on each end of the bearing. So I think this original bearing assembly must have been shorter by about, let's see, got 4 mil there. So I've got 2 spacers, roughly 4 mil thick. And can I measure this very well? That's going to be tricky. Where's my other spacer here? I'm sure someone will wish that I had measured it. What do we have here? Might as well look through. I can't see the camera. I've got 51 and a half there. Inner diameter is not massively important, but I've got 42. And then this one here should be, that's 4.2 mil on that one. Sorry for the camera going wonky. Anyway, so 2 spaces on there, so it must have been shorter. I need more hands to do this, but essentially you slide this out, put this in, screw it back on the shaft, and at least I've machined these bearings so they slip on and off without needing to be pressed. So it should go back together pretty easy. I'll screw it together and I'll show you. Okay, so just screws in like that. Obviously, when the bearings are not in there, it just screws itself on there. So then you just assemble your bearings and shim it up. I've turned this the opposite way, so when the shaft here goes in, it should be on the non-worn section, and then we set some clearances there with, when you put this plate together, this pin here, touch against there, that'll set the depth of your taper here to take out play, and also this needs to be pushed against the shaft so the balls are contacting properly. Otherwise, if you leave it loose, there's nothing really holding it to the shaft. It has, you can't tell, but because the backside is not actually touching the shaft, it needs force this way, just a little bit to hold it there. So anyway, I'll put all this back together and see if it works. Alright, well that's it back together. And obviously, that doesn't know, that's how it works. Obviously that shaft's connected to your spline, connected to your steering arm. So then you have this little guy here that goes on there. That runs in this machined groove. That's a guide, so this isn't rolling up and down, because if you get to the end, so it wants to move around, obviously holds it in the right spot, and then this here is your adjuster that goes up against this, set your depth there to take out your play. So obviously, if it's back here, it's extreme example, but you just sort of adjust that until you get a happy point. Originally I thought I wrote on this taper, which I reckon it's meant to, but it seems like it's more writing on this rear taper. But don't know if there's anything missing here to take up the gap, but for what I needed to do, it'll work fine. So make a gasket for this and put it back together. And yeah, essentially just adjust it when you're steering it's on until you get rid of the you know, if you had an arm on here, it'd be rocking back and forward, and you just do it till you take it out of play. And then just cycle this through and make sure it doesn't have any tight spots or anything like that. Yeah, and then good to go. Right up. Feed it back together.